Hey guys, welcome back to Mediocre Commentaries, and today we're going to be doing CoLS, which is Citadel of Laptop Splitting, but we're not going to be doing the normal version. Today we're going to be discussing where all the buttons are. So I'm going to pop up a quick spoiler warning on this video, just if you don't want to know how to get the secret ending on CoLS, if you want to find all the stuff by yourself. But basically the gimmick of the secret ending is that there's like 50 imperfections or buttons throughout the tower, whatever you want to say, and they're like these little almost invisible half studs. So starting off on floor 1, let me just get over to here. And, for the one note, I'm going to be watching my stream, like, I'm going to be recording myself watching my stream, for, like, some of the video, just because, I really don't want to have to do everything again. I'm just gonna go to basement and show you all the buttons till there, and then we'll switch over to me just watching my stream. But anyway, starting off on floor 1, there's only one button here, and it is on this little wedge, like this corner wedge, and so if you go on the second layer, on the spinner, and then behind it, you'll see this little thing, like this red brick thing, so you click it. And then that's the start of it, so let's cut to floor 2. So there aren't any buttons on floor 2, but one thing I would like to point out before you attempt doing this is that, so basically whenever you push a button, the Citadel gets slightly buffed. And, oh, I just fell. Well, that's embarrassing, but my point remains, it gets slightly buffed, so once you get all the buttons, the Citadel's literally going to be, like, I would say mid to high remorseless. Like, it gets stupid hard at 415. I'm not gonna show, I might show the buffed versions at the end if you want to see those kind of parts, but yeah, just keep that in mind that this is this is going to be a lot harder than the normal CoLS. But yeah, there's no buttons on floor 2, so let's go to floor 3. So starting off at floor 3, there will be one around there, and I already got it because I accidentally clicked it on impulse, and I don't want to reset since I'm at floor 3. But one more thing I should mention about these buttons is that it's not like the lobby secret where everyone appears at the same time. They appear in sequential order, so like you literally can't miss any because they appear one after the other. So just keep that in mind when going through this. Anyway, well, let's move on to the next button. So the next one is near this truss in the little sub area of floor 3 in this little kill brick section. Just click that. So the next one is on the first floor 4 outside over here on this little wall. Let me click it. There we go. So the next one is on the support of this roped platform on floor 4. So the next one on floor 5 is under this rainbow truss. Let me click it. So the next two are on the floor 5 outside section on the speed section. The first one's over here. And then let me just go over here real quick. And then the next one is over here under the blue button. So just click that. And then we can move on to floor 6. So moving on to floor 6, the first one is on like this little floating brick thing. Oh, you can't click it from here. Let me go over here. So try to click it from about this area where I'm standing. And then the next one is up on here on this brick. And then you can move on to dropper. So starting off with dropper, now you can't miss this one. Well, I mean, you can. You just teleport back down. So, but anyway, my point is you want to go, once you get to this brick, what you want to do is go on this side of the dropper. Then underneath this kill brick, there is the first button. So then once you've done that, you might think, oh, I just need to go get this button. But you actually don't. You need to go to the end of the basement. And then this little button's going to be here. And then the route starts getting a little strange. I'll cut to when I get back up there. So using the teleporter to get back up to this button, now you want to actually start doing this button. So first on this little sub area on floor 4, the button is right here. So the second one is on this walkway after you do the red pusher. And the next one is on the back side of this truss after the red platforms. And the final one for this outside section is on this little brick on the ball. So then once you got the button as you normally would, the final one for like the dropper is on this little brick at the bottom. So now once we've got to basement, I'm going to transition to just me like commentating over watching my stream. Don't worry, my stream's going to be muted. You don't need to hear my stream. But yeah, so it's going to be a bit strange since I'm not actually going to be playing. But anyway, we're going to carry on with basement. So starting off with basement, you know so on the first base, like the first basement, there's two paths you can take. There's one with just the normal route, and there's one with a bunch of one studs. The first one is right there. So moving on, once you get that first button, you can just drop down into the next level. But right before you hit second basement, like the gray part, as you can see right there, the button is on the like side of the little kill brick part. So just get that. So moving on with second basement, once you cross this little tightrope right here, it'll be on the other side of the slant, as you can see right there. So the next one is rather sneaky. Once you get that button on the slant, what you want to do is jump down, and then there's going to be this random can glide falls part right there, and then the button's in there. So moving on with the last basement, the next one is on the studs route over here. So just get that one, and you can move on. So the next one is rather sneaky as well. There's another random can glide falls part after you get the one on the studs route, and it's in there. So moving on to the Outback section of CoLS, there's a little tiny button right there that you can barely see, but it's near the head hitters at the very end of the Outback section. So moving on to floor 7, if you got every single button up to this point, you will notice that there is a button at the bottom, the bottom of that platform that you move on to floor 7 in. Moving on, at the very end of floor 7, right before floor 8, there's this green head editor section, and the next button is on the side of the blue, not the blue button, the side of the black button. So just click that. This is after I uploaded the initial video, but one of my friends pointed out that I actually missed a button. So before you start pressing that button, there's actually a button right there that spawns all the other ones. So get that. So there are none on the floor 8, like the floor 8 inside part, but all the buttons on floor 8 are on the purple outside part. So the first one's on this very end of this brick, like after the head hitters. So the next one is at the very edge at the very part before this truss at the end of this platform. So the next one is at the very beginning of floor 9, near the wall hops on the side of this wall. So the next one is on floor 10 at the, don't touch the kill bricks challenge on the very side of the wall next to the button. So the next one, sorry if it's a bit hard to see since everything is pink, but it's on the button rush challenge, and it's on the very edge of that brick. Then once you click that, it'll move over to that side, then click that, and then it will move to the opposite side of that brick over to there. So then finally it's on the speed section, and it's on the very side of this wall right there. Not really sure why it says final. I said finally. There's one more on this speed section, and it's on the very edge of this platform right there. Again, sorry if it's a bit hard to see. So moving on to floor 11, this one you can just barely, you basically can't even see it at all, but it's on the very edge of this platform at the beginning of floor 11. So the next one, it's at the jump before where you go inside floor 11 / the box. It is barely seeable, but you see that little gray part right there, that's the button. So it's like behind the second stud. So once you get to this outside section, there's going to be a new path right here. It's a bit transparent, so it looks like I'm just walking on nothing, but there's a green path there, and it'll lead you to this part. Then you gotta do a 6 stud or a 5 stud wraparound onto a 1 stud, and then at the very end of this platform, the button will be right there. So the next one is at the very end of the outside section, and it's right there. So again, sorry it's a bit hard to see, but it's right there. So the next one is on the very side of the wall before 412. Moving on with 412, you may notice there's a new transparent path here that leads to a corner clip. So, just wait, let me wait for my character to actually do the corner clip. So there's corner clip through there, and now there's this new stress-inducing obby that's here. So just kind of keep going along as you do, and you'll eventually get to this ladder. So, let me just cut to where I actually do it. So the first one on this little obby part is on the very behind on the top stud on this ladder. So then you can finish up the obby, and it's a bit hard to see, but there's a button on the very slanted part of that stud at the end. So moving on, right before you go inside the dropper, there's a little button on the side of the wall. So now jump down to the green section and jump on these studs, and you will notice that there's a little corner clip here. So just kind of clip through. And then on the very edge, not on the edge, below this platform, there will be another button. Now on the pink floor, below this kill brick, there will be another button. So let's click that. So now you can jump down, and then there's going to be a button right there. Then you can go down to the next level, there'll be another button on the wall. So then when you jump down to the blue section, you might notice this big purple thing. You want to land on it because it's can't quite true. Then you can just click the button. And then you can just go down to the actual bottom of the basement. Or the bottom of the dropper, I mean. So moving on, once you finish the little inside dropper section, there's going to be a button on the very side next to this kill brick on a wall. And then there's going to be another button next to this wall near the hole in the kill bricks. Then near the edge on this really far out kill brick. Then on the very edge of this kill brick near the end of this little outside section. Then on the wall of the dropper itself. Then right before you go back inside 412, at the bottom of this little slanted platform, really just by the exit of 412. Then on the 413 outside section, it's a bit hard to see, but there's a little button at the edge of this ball near, before the dark section of 413. Then when you get to this little conveyor part in the dark section of 413, on the very first stud on the conveyor, there's a little button right there. Then at the bottom of the next section in the dark floor on 13, on this little support pole of the wraps. Then the next one is on the support pole of the 9 stud wraps. Then on the wall of the button on the outside on 13. Then once you get the button on outside, go back to the 9 stud wraps, and you'll notice this little button right there. Click it. The first one on 414 is in the middle of these trusses on the outside section. Then the next one is in the invisible maze on 414 on the side of one of the walls. It's right there. Then once you get to this maze, you want to go the wrong way, and once you go through this huge spiral, you'll find the button right there. Then the next one, because of bad stream quality, it's really hard to see, but it's right about there. Just look where my cursor's going. It's right about there. Then the first one is right before this little tunnel, and it's right there. Then once you hit the one I just talked about, it's underneath the tunnel right there. Then this one's really sneaky. You know the ball that you go on with the red kill bricks? You have to click this little button right here on this kill brick while spinning on a ball. It's the hardest button in the tower, in my opinion, just because it's annoying, and it's a hard time to click. So just kind of spam click until you actually hit the button. That's what I did, and it worked. So this one's really weird. On the conveyor section, you may notice that the gap is actually filled in by the button, and the button is can't quite true. So what you want to do is just not jump like you normally would. Go to the edge, and then click it as soon as you jump, like I am. And there you go, like that. And then you can move on. Then the next one is on the support of these roped platforms. Then once you get up here, you will notice there's a new transparent path, so just go across that. Let me just center my character. There you go. And then there's this whole new obby down here. And at the very end of that obby, let me cut. The very end of the obby, there'd be a corner clip, and then under that corner clip is the final button. Now, that's all the buttons, and I'll leave it to you guys to find out what happens when you get all the buttons. The only hint I'll give is that you have to get to the final jump, and then there's going to be a new teleporter there, so just go in that, and you just have fun with the boss fight at the end. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up here, guys, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and just thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon with another episode. See ya.